Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. Let's talk about your Harley, oil, and water. Not many things mix with oil well. Well, we've got vinegar and oil for your salad. That's all right. And if you have a squeaky hinge with water, well, you use 3-in-1 oil. That helps, okay. And if you come from the 1950s, you add a little oil to your comb and it's, hey, yeah, the Fonzarelli. But water and oil in a Harley-Davidson, should never meet. But just like the farmer's daughter and the salesman, they'll find a way. So let's talk about water in your oil. How do you know? Well, there is a visual inspection. Why does it happen? Why does water form in your oil? It's called condensation. Here in the South, we get really high temperatures and we get a lot of humidity. And when those two mix and they mix inside your motor, you get condensation on surfaces. And over a period of time, this condensation becomes droplets, and then the droplets drop water in your oil and it starts mixing up. How do you prevent this? Ride your Harley, all right? We've got to get the temperature up to operating temperature. No, it doesn't work going out to your garage, letting it run a little bit. Well, if you let it run 3 to 5 minutes, yeah, I guess your motor oil would get up to operating temperature and get rid of some of the condensation. But your primary and transmission, it needs the gears movement to get the heat up to get the condensation out. So how do you visually inspect your oils to see if you already have water in your oil? Well, if you have brand new oil and a little bit of water, it's going to be really hard to tell. But if your oil is like my oil and it's been in there for a while and the high heat and all that condensation happens, you can take your derby cover off your primary side and take a look at the oil. Yeah, looks like a Jamocha shake. And the covers will have whipped cream on it. It looks terrible. All right, this is what you're looking for. Well, you really don't want to find it, but this is what it will look like over a period of time with condensation dropping water into your oil, and it really shows up in your primary and transmission. Motor oil, not as much, but if you find that old bike in the barn and it's been sitting there for a long time, or you've been really busy and haven't ridden your motorcycle for a while, this is what you'll find. How do you get rid of it? Tough. All right, how do you get rid of this condensation milkshake inside your primary, transmission, and motor oil? You go for a ride, you get it up to operating temperature, you change your oil in your filter. Then you go ride for 500 miles and you change your oil in your filter and you go, Doc, that's expensive. It's not as expensive as changing internal parts from the water damage in your bearings. So let's agree, let's ride more, and if you find it, condensation in your motor, let's change the oil and filter on a regular basis, and let's get ahead of this condensation that can occur, especially if you live in the South like we do, where you have high heat and a lot of humidity, and the condensation will create water in your motorcycle oil. Just a little tech tip from Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next week.